But we have lots of information, a great chance to ask questions. The number one priority is Eric is working on budget and the like. I can tell you a humorous story about budget things, but I'll tell you that after we're done here. Mr. Burns, I will let you know, if I can get my Orioles to win tonight, this will be the first time they've been 500 this late in the season since 2015.
2015.
Oh, go Birds. All right.
You're the eternal optimist.
Yes, I am. I was the guy in the Titanic that lived. All right, here we go, folks. Glad to see you all. It's July the 13th. It is National French Fry Day. For your consumption. We got 2 sets of minutes to approve, and thank you very much for that June 23rd. We were able to knock out our soccer folks who, good folks to work with, and I hope our FC Pride folks, or at least will catch wind of this. They were incredible folks to work with, realistic, and that's why they're as successful as they are. So with that being said, thank you, Ms. D, for getting stuff out. With that being said, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of June 23rd and June 8th if there are no additions, subtractions, corrections.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Real quick, and Eric, I'm going to try to eliminate maybe some of your comments here. Update on the roof and the HVAC, where we're going.
They started the roof today. They've got the majority of the slate taken off the north side. Some water damage, rot
Right.
that they will have to replace, but they should get the
Roof, Spirit Center.
I think so.
they've got the north side almost done. They should get the south side done tomorrow and then start actually putting shingles on Friday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they will work until they get the shingles all done.
So an end of July, some people call me the pessimist, that's okay. A July 30th finish date realistic?
For the roof, yes.
Okay.
The HVAC units are still out in Netherlands somewhere. We haven't received the 2 10-ton units
Okay.
for the big room.
Got it.
So he won't have the crane and set those until he's got all 3.
Got all the components there, yeah. So
It's the Spirit Center roof you're talking about.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Yes. Fun part here, give us, and Judith and Mr. Hoffman, if you are inclined to help out, give us a quick 4th of July, maybe numbers, how many people we think. I know we didn't have the carnival, but it didn't put a damper on the activity, so.
And Dave can certainly interject, but I think it was probably the largest car show we've ever had. The parade was organized and seemed to move along pretty well. So it was 67 units. Lasted about 45 minutes, which is...
Did we sell out a fish? Okay.
The concert was a success. They put a great show on, and then a great fireworks show. So we've already
Got 1/4
commitment with that particular vendor. So
1/4 of July done. Got to get ready for the next one.
we've got 23 covered and 24 covered with that particular vendor.
All right. I'm going to jump down here a couple things. This is, as we take on more obligation, I'm going to give an update of a couple of places. Staffing has really become a hardcore issue. Mitch went over to work for DFAS, and how has our summer? We picked up 2 summer. How did that work out?
Not very well. They've already left our employment. So we've interviewed a young man this morning for a full-time position, and then we've got an applicant for a seasonal position
Okay.
call this week. So hopefully here in the next week or two, we can get the forces up a little bit.
I got about 4 things here dealing with the soccer. I know we agreed to move forward on repairs on the tower. How did those come out? Have they been vandalized yet?
No, they've got the windows replaced. They started on the roofing, and they had to order some additional materials, so they just came in. Actually, they were working on it yesterday, so
Okay.
they hope to be completed by probably the end of next week.
All right. And this is one I'm going to push, because when I was taking those power boxes back to the compound last week, I've been making we've got to clean up that Pride's area back there. That's going to be a priority. I may bug you every day, because it is just it's a painful eyesore. It's not a suggestion anymore. It has to happen.
That's their stuff, so they'll be the ones responsible to.
But it's still on park property.
It is.
And
Right, but
I will myself contact Pride and go, this can't be this way.
it'll require that we. A lot of that material just has to be hauled off the dump.
Yes, it needs to, because there's too much going on back there. Then you come back onto that eyesore there. I'm going to be honest, that'll be the one that I'm a thorn in your behind on. I haven't paid attention. Any movement on the removal of the white fence that's ready to fall down?
No, we still haven't taken that down. Just
Any better luck with our adult leagues and their trash?
they didn't play last. Well, they didn't play on the 4th or the 5th.
Okay.
4th. And last week it didn't look bad, so I don't.
Okay, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. And I did get an inquiry from 2 people about Tower Park, the restrooms needing to be open, the fence being replaced, and the weeds around it.
The weeds were sprayed yesterday.
Okay.
They were weed eated and sprayed yesterday. The fencing, we've got that in the 2023
Got it.
budget.
I just wanted, because
$22,500.
sure as God made little green apples, they'll text me sometime tomorrow, so that's it. Real quick update, this is Next Level Trails update, UCI. They are almost 100% with field work for the survey being complete. They're getting ready to begin processing of the data and performing deed and plat research. Once that's completed, they will order title searches, complete their first pass at a development plan. They are slightly ahead of schedule. I'm not going to read the next sentence because it's a positive thing, and I am a coach and I'm superstitious. And you start saying, "Hey, yay, raw, go fight, win team," you get firecrackers in your toilet. So I'm not going to say anything. Civic Plaza, only one major item here. While doing site work to lower the grade, they found power lines which belong to AES, IPL. All parties have met on site to discuss a solution. Overall, this shouldn't cause any major delays, and we should still have a substantial completion ahead of Halloween. Eric, you want to add anything to that?
No, the ballards will have to be moved, and we'll have to have some agreements with the utility easements. It's our own water utility, so
Okay.
I assume we'll be all right.
So, in layman's term, it's the infrastructure site work is where we're at right now. It's a combination of City of Lawrence utilities, Eric, jump in here, and AES's utilities having to be relocated.
Yeah, AES, our contractor will do all the reconnections and all the lowering of the conduits and that sort of thing. AES just has to come in and pull the primary lines and just on that north side.
Okay.
So it'll all
You'll think you want to pull your hair out if you think it's not.
It'll be in a change order.
Right.
You should
Oh.
receive next week.
Yeah, I got a feeling my signing of change order hand is going to get very sore coming up here. It is ahead of schedule, well, not ahead of schedule, but hopefully, I keep thinking about the 20th of October. We should have a substantial completion date. So, yay, rah. The ever popular pickleball. Pickleball. And I tell you what, if you go out there, the folks that did the initial asphalt work, to say they were bad is an understatement. They were out there, first they fixed the grade, and now they're working on, Eric, what are they doing?
They're grinding. What they have to do, they have to grind the surface and then do a fill patch or a fill, like a leveling like you would on your flooring. And our standards require that it be no deeper than a quarter, the height of a quarter. So
When we undertook that we were going to have pickleballs, this isn't me and Tom Burns as boys going out in our driveway and say, giddy up. It is.
So it is, I was out there just a little bit ago and they're just about got all the court painted. Now they're working on the out of bounds areas.
Fingers crossed. This one I'm going, July 17th might be optimistic, but we got a shot at the 17th of July.
Tom had a question.
Yes, Tom.
I think, my question is about the blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue is the court, and what they call the kitchen or the fore area, that'll be a burgundy.
Okay.
And then the out of bounds will be green. Colorful.
Oh, yeah.
It's bright.
Sounds good.
All right. Board members, got anything for Eric? The sheet that it says Parks Department with goals and objectives, I was going to kind of tie that in with our discussion on the budget, if that'll work best.
Works for me.
Okay. Any other questions?
The Lee Road Trail, it's not very well advertised in any way. There's signs, but they sit back. And that's a really nice trail back.
Yeah, yeah.
Really
Well,
like that trail.
we could move the front one, the one on the east side or the west side, probably up front, closer to the.
Because there's a few people that use it, but not nearly what it ought to be. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's very, are we going to do any more work back on that, Terrence, taking any of the vegetation out? I don't think.
Yeah,
we can help
again,
it.
it's just, we've got all that mulch I'm sure you've seen sitting there, so we're just waiting for a opportunity to get that spread, and
Yeah, I'd like to
when we
see
do
it.
that, we'll do some more cleaning in the area.
I'd like to see it stay as natural as possible.
Right.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's really, you feel like you're not in the city when you're back there.
Right.
So I think that's really good.
Caveat what Tom just said. Eric, I should know this. I'm an idiot. When our trail that we're working on right now, it will be on that side of Lee Road. Okay, and that's what I'm anticipating as our trail is developed and goes online. That'll make that Lee Road trail, more visible.
Yeah.
And hopefully be a logical extension of our trail that we're
Yeah, it needs
currently
to be-
working on.
I certainly don't have a count, but there's quite a few users already.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know from
I've
my
seen-
neighborhood, I've ran into a lot of people that go over and
Yeah, it's good.
utilize it.
It's good. The crossing on Lee Road, what's the plan for that? Or do we have one yet? About how?
That was a part of the, that'll be part of our trail program also.
Right,
But
I
that was in essence to get people across the street towards Fort Harrison State Park or vice versa.
Because that's a tricky place to cross.
Boy, it is. Well, that.
They're really driving for that stage, or, if we're gonna, encourage people to cross there.
Yeah.
we probably need to do something about that to make sure that it's safer.
That whole strip through there, and that's one of the things that brought up, that was what I was gonna bring up with the update on Lee Road's repurposing, but we have one of those chevron signs is still down outside of Lee Road entrance, got knocked down last week. And the issue I brought up in our last conversation about Lee Road is we're going to need some lighting. That's a dark, blind curve. And even when you get all the way down to 71st and Lee Road, you see you have the turn chevron signs there on the curb. And I think I saw 2 of those down because and even though there's a light there, people treat it like it's, Silverstone for an F1 course. So they get on it.
I'll ask the street commissioner or the city engineer. I think they were planning on putting one of the decorative crosswalks there.
Okay.
And I'm sure there'll be additional signage and lighting in that area.
It's the drivers that I would be more concerned about.
Correct, yeah.
Because they really go fast and don't pay much attention, and
Oh, boy, they don't.
it's just,
And it's almost like when they are leaving the city, where it says, when you enter a small town, the speed limit goes from 60 to 25, and they are coming north out of Fort Harrison, and they went, oh, I'm leaving the city.
going out of Fortville.
Yep. They go from 3rd to 5th gear.
Speed limit changes.
Any other questions? If not, Eric, do you have anything to add, or do you want to jump right into budgeting?
Yeah, I can just start with budgeting. Again, Jeff gave you the objectives, accomplishments, and some goals and objectives. The administration, through the controller's office, has asked us we're doing some workshop opportunities. Public's invited. We had some last week. We've got some this coming week. Ours is on Monday at 6:30 if anybody would like to show up, and we'd actually appreciate somebody showing up so we can explain how we do the budgeting process. But we've Dean and I have got probably 95% of the budget done already.
Eric, the key, if you go down there to 2023 objectives, those are the big ones that we'd like to get accomplished. The comedy is down there at number 2, community park upgrades, which was originally a part of the 2022 budget. Did make it. Now we're getting inquiries as to, are you guys going to do this in 2022 from the very same elements that didn't approve to do those improvements? Hopefully, their constituents have gone to them going, hey, we need this. So, and these are some ambitious things. And Ms. Helen and Eric and I were chatting, and realistically, this is coming from me, we have the power to bond, but it still has to be approved by the council. I don't, we've got our parking lots at all of our parks are in dire needs. Our connecting pathways, you brought it up there at Alexander Park, out at OYO, are in dire need. And I don't want to wait till we run into a situation and suddenly somebody's hurt and now we're writing checks. And some genius suddenly said, we should have fixed this. Bonding to fix all of our pathways and parking lot, all of them at the same time, it might be our only hope of possibly achieving that. It's something I would like to explore. We have to, educate the council on the importance of this, and we have to educate the council on the importance of this. They need to get out to Alexander Park when we have adult softball leagues going on. They need to go out to OYO when they have these summer tournaments, especially on a Sunday when FC Pride and OYO are competing at the same time. And holy hell, you're going from a front parking lot to the back, and forget grandma, it's hard enough for me to walk at 60 years old on those rocky, uneven pathways. That's the key. It's an education piece, and I think this is a talented enough group who I think is thought well enough by council folks. Email them. We need these things. We'll drive you out there. We'll give you a tour. I'll take my pickup truck. We'll throw them in the back, and we'll go out there and look at them.
Helen and I were talking about the importance of taking care of what we have.
That's what, yes,
It's nice to build new things, and it's always nice to do that and add more programs or whatever, but, you know, we got to take care of what we got.
that's what worries me. I combine that with the staffing issue, with the add-on of the cultural campus and then the Civic Plaza. And if we get Lee Road repurposed, and those are new things that we've got to maintain on top of what we already have that we have to maintain.
This sheet, it's got maintenance equipment on there, but it still ought to be maintenance needs.
Right.
You know, taking care of what we have. So I'd like to add that to the 2023 objectives and the rest of 2022 too.
Maintaining it. Eric, what is the timeline for budget?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It has to be entered into New World by Friday. That's our software package, and then it goes to the council. Gosh, it should be done by the end of September, I believe.
Right.
I think this year, I think Tyler's got a pretty aggressive. Gina, do you remember what the timeline was?
I'm gonna put Mr. Hoffman on the, Mr. Hoffman, do you know what the,
I think it is, yeah. I got it here.
do you know what the budget deadlines are?
Reparation.
I'm putting everyone on the spot here. That works.
September 6th, the ordinance introduced to the council,
September.
September 6th. Hopefully the 21st, they'll have the first budget hearing, and
That hasn't changed.
adopted by the 10th of October
Right.
and submitted to
Right, got it,
DLGF.
right.
Getting old.
And I will give a high five to administration offering these workshops, not only for the public, but for the council to let them knows what our, what the priorities, and Eric knows this, you've heard me say to me, and I'm very selfish of this department and its needs. And that's where they were very open. They've had a couple chances, folks come in, like I said, not only the public, but the council to ask questions. And like I said, I'm willing to reach out, and I know you guys are. We'll hop in, we'll grab a minibus from the township, and we'll drive folks around and go, holy hell, this is what we have, and this is what we need. So it would be nice. Eric, anything else?
Just real briefly, the controller set our budget request at 1.5, almost 1.6 million. This year, we're at,
That's for 2023, correct?
we're at 1 point, well, with the appropriations, we're at 1.5.
So in essence, this is a wash.
It's pretty much a flat
Okay.
budget, but, we had the additional appropriations that we asked the council.
Right, for fuel and the like.
How much were those? Remember, how much were the additional appropriations?
It's just a little over 200,000
Yeah.
additionally, yeah.
Talking about
Gas, shed.
we're at 1.7 now, this year's? Is that,
I've got 1 point.
196 for the skirt roof, the shed, gas. Is it possible the 2023 budget could be in real dollar terms less than 2022?
It's just going to be, it's going to be very,
Very close, though.
very flat, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and if you take into account inflation,
yeah.
it'll be less.
And
Oh, yeah.
That's, Tyler's very conservative, which we can appreciate, so we'll go in at that level, and then if, of course, there's any,
You're right, if inflation's going to be 8%, this year's budget in real dollars will be less than, next year's budget will be less than this year's budget. Yeah,
Yeah.
all right. Anything else, Eric?
no, I don't think so.
Colleagues? Miss Judy, come on down. She's fresh back from vacation and firecrackers in the toilet. Boy, that sounds like a song from the 1970s.
Isn't it though? So the Fort Bend Cultural Campus is limping along. You know, they say that the first 90% of a project takes 90% of the time, and the last 10% takes the other 90% of the time. And that's where we are.
Mickey Mantle line.
Yeah.
Or
We still
Yogi Berra line.
have some details on the amphitheater to finish, and we're just waiting for the limestone caps to be cut. I don't know what takes so long, but evidently it takes a long time. The non-musical swings, as we refer to them, they have pushed back their delivery again. But the only other thing that was outstanding is the augmented virtual reality app, and we are going to move forward without those little details being finished. So the photographer is coming out this weekend to take 3D photographs indoors and outdoors, and so we hope to launch that app in August. And we've got all kinds of great performances coming up. Most of them are free. This Friday is Fridays at the Fort with Queen Delphine. She's a blues singer. She's loads of fun. The following weekend is Shakespeare at the Fort. It's
can't
our
wait to
first
see
time
that.
doing
That'll be
outdoor
interesting.
Shakespeare with Bard Fest, and we're doing A Midsummer Night's Dream. That's also free to the community. It's for 4 nights, Thursday through Sunday. Then we have another one of our Queens at the Fort drag queen shows. And we have another Fridays at the Fort. That's the following weekend. That's Friday, July 29th and Saturday, July 30th. The following weekend is Classical Sundays at the Fort. All of these programs are free, aside from the Queens at the Fort. And then in August, we have commissioned a playwright. It's been 3 years in the works. We are producing Benjamin Harrison Chased a Goat. It's a ticketed event.
Be interesting.
It's going to be a great show in the theater. The president is in the house at Arts for Lawrence, so we're really excited about that one as well. Any questions?
Just fun things.
Lots of fun things. Every Tuesday night, there's free urban line dancing. Every fourth Thursday, there's a free poetry reading.
Yeah.
I show up at the Urban Line and they pull the hamstring right off the bone.
Yeah, you could do it. You could do it. I'll meet you there.
The email regarding the scoping of the downspouts.
They didn't find anything, so evidently things are working properly. Our AccuLevel is who put in the perimeter drain inside, so
Okay.
I've got a call to them, and they're going to come out and see. The other thing we realized was that when the firecracker went in the toilet, I was out of town. There probably was a lot of water, and I'm wondering if this is not because the sump pump isn't working properly or that there's exterior water coming in, but maybe it's residual puddles from that.
Okay.
We're just not sure, but, yeah.
Just little fun things.
We haven't had enough, we had
And that rain.
one rain in 6 weeks, and
I know.
The last time I canceled baseball games working for you, we had rains in weeks, and I turned the water on the baseball field, and I canceled like 6 games. It hadn't rained in weeks.
I will call you, though, Eric. We have another sprinkler head, I think, that is leaking on the
Okay.
campus.
is it the one by the walkway?
Yep,
I
yep.
think it's the same one.
I think it is the same one, too. That's it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Mr. Hoffman, anything good for the good of the cause, sir?
I just wanted to kind of get back to the Fourth Fest a little bit if I could, because that is a banner day in the city of
Well,
Lawrence.
yeah.
And given other incidents around the country that happened that day and afterwards, we decided to kind of hold off on patting ourselves on the back and advertising what a success we had here out of just respect for other communities. But we really, I mean, it was really an amazing day. As you know, started with the parade. That route was lined consistently with, I would say, thousands.
Oh, yeah, 2, 3, 4 deep.
Kids.
Holy heck.
As Eric mentioned, what was the total number of parade participants?
67, I believe, units.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just a great slice of American life, and it was highlighted in the great city of Lawrence, Indiana.
Well, and a caveat to that, and we say it all the time here, it was a City of Lawrence Fourth Fest, but you saw the influence City of Lawrence has outside our boundaries with the
Absolutely.
participants
Absolutely.
in that event.
We had two mayors
yeah.
in that parade, as you
Right.
know. I'm sure Mayor Collier and, of course, Mayor Hvac came out, and it was a bipartisan,
Yes.
great event
Yep.
where everyone just got along. Coach Jack Kiefer was our grand marshal this year. The Lawrence Township schools had an awesome presence with their students and staff and teachers and school board members. The parade ended at Community Park. It transitioned right into probably the biggest fish fry we've ever had. Last year, we sold out of
Right.
fish. This year, we increased our order. I should say, when I say we, it's not the city. I mean, the city helped out, but it was the Sunrise Kiwanis group that really did all the heavy lifting. But they increased their fish order by 30%, and there was a line out the door almost the entire time. I mean, more than 100 people were inside the building in line, and then maybe 20 to 30, 40 people
Transitioned
outside the
outside.
line.
Holy hell.
And people just kept on coming. So that was a great fundraiser for the Kiwanis and a great community building kind of an event. While that was going on, there was a car show that, in my opinion, was the largest one we've had since I've been around, more than 6 years. The car show was fantastic. Lots of really nice
Yes.
vintage classic cars. And beyond that, the day was just filled with,
A constant, there was very little downtime.
right, we had a Jeep Jamboree.
Right.
We had Jennifer Malott, kind of a singer-songwriter,
Right.
acoustic guitar player. She was fantastic. And then Big Roscoe and the Hammers, which if you haven't
I
seen
like
them,
Big
they-
yeah.
I mean, they do such great covers of American classics. And then, of course, that transitioned into the fireworks display, which, in my opinion, best ground fireworks
Right.
display I've ever seen.
Refined.
Yeah, and we pulled this day off with no arrests, no injuries, no reports of disturbances.
Lots of sunburn.
I mean, no traffic
Right.
accidents.
Well, that's the interesting
no
thing,
police
how well it
reports,
worked,
no
yeah.
cars got broken into, so again, I'm just so grateful that we were, and it's not an accident,
No.
There's a big committee of people who planned that event. Mr. Martin here being one of the most critical people in that, and Corey Korn, of course, and
Right.
the police department, the fire department.
Yep.
Yourself, you weighed in quite a bit on it, because that is, I mean, Community Park is the home of all.
Ground send, yeah.
Of the parade. Again, I just wanted to thank you all for all you do to make our parks destinations, especially Community Park, our flagship park, and that is what, really made, the park was in excellent condition. There were trash cans, available for everybody. Our community did not disrespect our park
No,
today.
having worked the day after, which we reflect, Bend and Stoop.
Yeah.
But even still, and
It was pretty much
it's,
confined.
yeah, confined in an area, yeah.
The vendor area, you're gonna expect that.
Yeah, so, and that's another thing I didn't even mention. We had probably a dozen either food trucks and/or vendors
Right.
who were with products that could be purchased, and of course food items, and Moo and Lou were there with their shaved ice, and they're such a staple in this community as well. So anyway, I just wanted to take a minute to kind of highlight that and not let it get forgotten.
No, I'm glad that how you opened. You screwed up in reverse. You have to do it again next year, bigger and better. I always say that. We do good. It's called screwing up in reverse. Sure. And I like how you opened it. I'm pretty notorious at the first meeting after the fourth of coming right in. Great job, Eric. I was going to downplay that.
Sure.
Because we were blessed enough we didn't have any insanity. But yes, the police, fire. And like I always say, we're a grossly understaffed department who's aging, by the way, and they pull it off. They continue to pull it off, and you just got to make it better. It takes you a little longer, and you just got to make it better next year. Sorry, that's all you got to do.
Absolutely.
That's how high you are.
It's a 14-hour day for a lot of police
Yes.
officers and firefighters, medics,
And it's a day a lot of people
volunteers.
beyond our borders that are proximate, at least, look forward to.
Absolutely.
They really do.
Right.
So, High fives to everybody.
Thank you for the opportunity to kind of discuss that a little bit.
Thank you, sir. All right. Anything else for the good of the cause? Little Norman out there, you got anything you want to add? No. All right. With that being,
You called her out.
let's go home. We're adjourned. I'm going to go watch the